Hello and welcome to Eat These Words. Today I am doing a very old pudding from the wartime. The Ministry of Food leaflet number 21 says it's called equality pudding, and I'm going to show you how it's done. Believe it or not, equality, here you go, equality pudding. So in my bowl I have 8 ounces of plain flour and 2 ounces of butter, spread, margarine, whatever you're using. I'm sure in the wartime they just used whatever fat they had, so it could have been suet, it could have been lard, it could have been just anything they had lying around. For my purposes I'm using stock margarine. Okay, so we're going to rub in our fat, or if like me, use a pastry cutter. It doesn't have any raising agents apart from a little bit of bicarbonate of soda. So we'll see how it turns out. As I said earlier, this is from leaflet number 21, which is all about sugars. It says on the front of it, it's how to stretch the sugar allowance that you have. Now, this is a steamed pudding, as they all were in them days, because a pudding would help you to fill up. Rationing was around into the early 50s till around about 1954. So that's like a good 9 years after the war ended. We had to make full use in the UK of what we had around, which I'm sure is the same over the whole of the world at the time. Right, once you've got that mixed in, it's time to add some sugar, and we've got 2 tablespoons, and I've got the old style tablespoon. My mum was still using these when she died in 2011, so. And I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons of sugar. Give that a little mix in with my spoon. Now I've used granulated sugar, which is the normal type of sugar that you have in the house. You could use caster sugar if you've got that available, but I'm trying to stick to what we had back then. I've first got to dissolve some bicarbonate of soda, and that's 1 teaspoon. And I'm again using the traditional version of a teaspoon, which is that, the one you stir your coffee with if you're not sure. And then pop that in there, along with a little bit of milk, about a splash, so a couple of tablespoons there maybe, or even 1. So dissolve your bicarbonate of soda in your milk, and to that you want to add, just move this over so you can see, about 2 tablespoons of jam. So I'm going to add a heaped one. I'm just going to use what's left in this jar. This is raspberry jam, and I'm just going to use what's left in there. And this of course is going to be this of course is going to help sweeten our pudding. So mix that in again, that's one of them. And we're going to put that into our flour and margarine mixture. Take in your spoon, we're going to mix it in. Now then, we're aiming for a drop-in consistency, so you have to add as much milk as you need to get it to that consistency. Now this may mean less or more depending on your flour, where you are in the world, etc. Drop-in consistency is that, when you can get it off your spoon. I've got about a tablespoon left in my jam, which I'm going to place in the bottom of a well-greased 2-pint bowl. If you've got a smaller one, a 1.5 is good, but I haven't, so we're doing 2-pint. Now then, if you feel you want a little bit more, add a little bit of water or milk to the base of this, and it'll turn into a syrup. That's good because it'll line the base of your bowl. So I'm going to add a tad of water. This was a tip that they used during the war to empty any jars of sweetener by putting a little bit of water in and giving it a good shake. And then use it, it said, in anything that you need. Your porridge in the morning, your tea and coffee. Obviously you wouldn't use raspberry jam in your coffee, but anything else you would do that with, which is good frugal living really. Pop that in the bottom of your basin. I'll just show you what I've got now. So that's the bottom of my basin, and I'm going to place my sponge mixture, my cake mixture, whatever you want to call it, on top. When you've done that, we're going to put a lid on it. Once you've sealed your pudding in a bit of tin foil with a bit of string around it so that you can actually hold it up, we're going to steam it. Now, generally it takes, if you're doing it on top of a pan, which is how I normally do it, I'll link a few recipes below to show you a few other steamed puddings. But once you've done that, you can steam it for 2 hours, or you can pressure cook it. So I'm going to pressure cook mine, and I'm going to show you how I do it. I've got an instant pot. If you haven't, then what you'll need is to put it on some kind of stand in the base of your pot. You don't want it to sit on the base of the pot. It's like steaming. You need the water underneath, not touching the actual item itself. We're going to put, first of all, a bit dangerous, some boiled water in the bottom of our instant pot, our pressure cooker, whatever you want to call it. Make sure there's about 1 inch on the bottom of my pressure cooker, so it's about 1 litre of water. I'm going to then lift my trivet and my pudding into my pan. Hopefully that'll stay on there. No, it won't, never mind. And I'm going to seal it. There we go. What I need to do now is set it to cake. If you haven't got a cake setting, then just pressure cook it on low. And we're going to, first of all, cook it with the vent open for 20 minutes. So time it on your watch. Hey Bixby, set timer for 20 minutes.
I'll start your timer for 20 minutes.
There we go. And then for 25 minutes with the vent closed. Once the pressure cooker has finished its 25 minutes, leave it to slow release. We don't want to touch it, just let it lose its own pressure. So it says now that it's okay to open the lid. It's been about 15 minutes, so I'm just going to... Always be careful when you do this, guys, because it can be, oh, there we go, rather hot. And just snip the edge bit off and unravel. There we go. Pop it on there for now. Let's see what it looks like. So, ooh, it has risen. Wow. Quite impressed with the rise on this. Impressed. Now I've got to get it out of this. So we're going to turn it upside down. Ooh. That nearly went everywhere, guys. Ooh, that's my fault. Pop it to the top for a moment and then shake. Few balls. Oh, there we go. Ooh. And look at that, that's your pudding. Ooh, a little bit of stuff come off the edge there, which I'll show you. There you go. But otherwise, it's come out really well. So, right off the bat, when I cut into this, I thought it would be like heavy and stodgy, but it's really light and fluffy. Look at it. It was quite surprising, I've got to say. So, serving it with custard, because that's what you do. Let's give it a try. So, here we go. Ooh, look at that. That is really light. I can't tell you how lovely that is. I'm very surprised, given the no egg. That's delicious. Recommend you give that a whirl, if only for the fact it's frugal. Anyway, that's me for this week. If you like what I'm doing, hit me up with a thumbs up. If you like what I'm doing, hit the subscribe button. There's a little notification bell on the side there. Hit that and it'll notify you about any videos that I post. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. If you know this is something else other than equality pudding, let me know. If you've made it before, let me know. If you make it, let me know. I'm good for everything. Follow me on social media. I'm on everything, so give it a whirl. But for this week, I'd like to say thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Liz out.